What is Greater Israel? The idea of Greater Israel involves expanding Israel's territory to include not only the current state of Israel, but also the West Bank, Gaza Strip, parts of Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and potentially even parts of Egypt and Iraq. This vision is often rooted in religious and historical claims to the land, with some proponents citing biblical prophecies or historical narratives to justify their territorial ambitions. Genesis 15:18 describes God promising Abraham, and from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. This has been interpreted by some as a basis for the idea of a greater Israel. All the prophets agree that Israel's last days restoration would involve a two-phase process. First, there would be a physical return to the land, and then a spiritual return to God. That is, Israel would return to the land in unbelief for the purpose of coming to believe. Jeremiah 24:6-7 states, I will bring them back to this land. Then I will give them a heart to know me, that I am the Lord, and they shall be my people. And I will be their God, for they shall return to me with their whole heart. And Jeremiah 30 to the Lord promises, behold, I will gather them out of all countries where I have driven them in my anger, in my fury, and in great wrath. I will bring them back to this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. They shall be my people, and I will be their God. Then I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and I will assuredly plant them in this land, with all my heart and with all my soul. Jeremiah 32:37-42. And in the clearest picture of this two-phase process of restoration, Ezekiel 36 declares, for I will take you from among the nations, gather you out of all countries, and bring you into your own land. Then I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean. I will cleanse you from all your filthiness and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will deliver you from all your uncleannesses. I will call for the grain and multiply it, and bring no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of your trees and the increase of your fields. The war of Gog and Magog is a prophecy found in both the Old and New Testaments of the Bible, specifically in Ezekiel 38:39 and Revelation 27:10. It depicts a final conflict between the forces of good and evil, involving a powerful figure named God, who leads an army from the land of Magog against God's people. Ezekiel describes Gog as a leader from the north who will invade the land of Israel with a vast army. God will intervene, unleashing natural disasters and supernatural events to destroy Gog of his forces. This victory will demonstrate God's power and holiness. In Revelation, Gog and Magog are described as evil forces that will be released after 1,000 years to wage war against God's people. However, like in Ezekiel, God will intervene and defeat them, ultimately leading to their destruction. The Gog and Magog narrative is often interpreted symbolically, representing the ultimate conflict between good and evil, God's power over all forces of opposition, and the triumph of God's kingdom. The outcome of the Gog-Magog war battle serves multiple purposes. It demonstrates God's power and holiness to the nations, ensuring they recognize Him as the Lord. It also signifies God's protection and restoration of Israel. After this war, restoration of Israel will be happened, and Israel will be turned as a great nation, and it will be called as the Greater Israel.
The promise of restoration. Throughout Scripture, Israel is promised a last-day restoration in the land. This promise rests on the faithful character of God, that He can be trusted to carry out His promises because He cannot lie. This is especially true if it is a covenant promise sworn to by divine oath. In the Abrahamic covenant, we find the election of both the people and the land of Israel for the purpose of world redemption. The two would merge to become a great nation, which over time would bless us with all the things we need for salvation. Romans 9:3-5. In the Mosaic covenant, the relationship between the land and people of Israel is regulated by their spiritual standing before God, in order to show forth His holy and righteous character. Yet any separation of the people from the land as a divine corrective measure would always be followed by a return to the land in God's timing. Leviticus 26:40-45, Jeremiah 31:10. In the Davidic covenant, we are assured that one day the people and land of Israel will be reunited and restored beyond that which King David had built. In fact, it will be an everlasting kingdom presided over by a promised Messiah, the Son of David, who would rule from Jerusalem over all the earth in righteousness and peace. Finally, in the New Covenant, Jesus proved His messianic credentials through His perfect obedience, even in enduring a cruel death on the cross. Philippians 2:5-11.